Man arrested for stalking Caitlin Clark. A Texas man was arrested on accusations of stalking Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark, ESPN reported on Monday, January 13. Michael Lewis, 55, of Denton was charged with a Level 5 felony stalking charge after being arrested at a hotel in Indianapolis, according to court documents. Lewis is accused of sending threats and sexually violent messages to Clark and faces up to 6 years in prison, as well as a $10,000 fine. The Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department initially made contact with Lewis on Wednesday, January 8, in relation to alleged messages he sent to Clark on X, according to Marion County Prosecutor Rhiann Mears. "Been driving around your house 3x a day," Lewis wrote to Clark, according to court documents, "but don't call the law just yet." Other messages sent by Lewis to Clark were described as being sexually violent, according to court documents. The 2024 WNBA Rookie of the Year told police that she feared for her safety prior to Lewis arriving in Indianapolis, which led to her altering her appearance in public. Mears said investigators were able to track down Lewis through IP addresses of his recent messages and located him at the Indianapolis hotel. The suspect told police he was in an imaginary relationship with Clark and had traveled to Indianapolis on vacation. Police said Lewis continued to send messages to Clark even after speaking to police. "It takes a lot of courage for women to come forward in these cases, which is why many don't," Mears said via ESPN. In doing so, the victim is setting an example for all women who deserve to live and work in Indy without the threat of sexual violence. "We commend Pacers Sports and Entertainment and the Marion County Sheriff's Office for the swift and serious action that led to this weekend's arrest." Prosecutors have moved to ban Lewis from the Fever's home arena, Gainbridge Fieldhouse, as well as Hinkle Fieldhouse, where the team had previously played, according to ESPN. A similar incident involved one of college basketball's top stars late last year. A 40-year-old man previously pleaded guilty to stalking and harassing UConn women's basketball star Paige Bueckers in December. Robert Cole Parmalee, 40, of Grants Pass, Oregon, who was also referred to as Parmalee in various documents and social media accounts, was charged with breach of peace, electronic stalking, and harassment after being detained by UConn police on September 13. This story is brought to you by the Women's Sports Audio Network, WSAN. WSAN is the first ever audio platform dedicated exclusively to women's sports. WSAN celebrates female athletes and gives an in-depth look into their personal experiences in and out of their respective sports. Check out more on the WSAN site. Denton man arrested for stalking Caitlin Clark. The 55-year-old man traveled from North Texas to Indiana recently to be near Clark, police say. A man from Denton has been arrested in Indiana for stalking basketball star Caitlin Clark. Michael Lewis, 55, faces a felony stalking charge after his Sunday arrest for allegedly sending threats and sexual violent messages to the WNBA All-Star through social media channels, according to ESPN. The report notes that Marion County Prosecutor Rhiann Mears said investigators tracked the IP address of Lewis' most recent messages and determined he was in Indianapolis at that time. Clark is a guard on the Indiana Fever. According to ESPN, investigators spoke to Lewis last week after he traveled from Denton to Indianapolis, where he told police that he was in an imaginary relationship with Clark and that he came to Indianapolis on vacation. On December 27, police say that Lewis posted a reply to Clark's X account stating this fantasy Caitlin relationship is changing me for the better. And about an hour ago, I felt strong Caitlin feelings. Like sensual. Well, more messages continued, with threats of stalking and violence becoming more explicit toward Clark. "Been driving around your house 3x a day," reportedly read one message from Lewis to Clark. "But don't call the law just yet," with another reading, "I am our slave, so work me out." Other messages to Clark suggested he would be sitting near her team's bench at an upcoming game.